welcome to the Bitchin' Podcast, where bitches be bitchin'.
And we're back yet again for another roundtable talk about our complaints.
Today we're gonna open by talking about some icks that we've experienced and stayed anyway.
Yes, so today we're going to
rat ourselves out.
Yeah, and entertain you all with our
horrific dating lives.
Yeah, and just tragic decisions, you know. We will suffer the trauma of enduring these things for the sake of your comedic
value.
Exactly. So you're welcome. You go first.
Okay. A man puked in my kitchen sink and asked me to help him clean it up. And I didn't have a garbage disposal. I did not help clean it up. I said, the fuck? You walked past the bathroom to get there.
That's horrible. I honestly can't even respond to that. Give me the next one.
A man, this isn't, like, I don't want to say I can see it, but, like, just know that the leg lamp exists. But this man told me he was sexually interested in lamps. Y'all really get hard to anything.
Next.
This is exposing myself a little bit. Sorry, friends. Sorry, mom and dad. Wanted me to pee on him.
That's
a little kinky.
Yeah. And you stayed, so no judgment on them. One, I kind of told you, well, I did tell you this, but I'm going to tell it again for the people. One ick is I dated a man, dated for damn near 2 years, dated a man who lied about what car he drove. And I'm not kidding you, and for any girl who knows who I'm talking about that has found this pod, sister, thank you for being here. But he didn't just lie. He had a vehicle, but it had all these bells and whistles, where the license, mods, right? And it looked like a Maserati. So he drove this bitch around Texas like he was whipping a Maserati, that the roof came down and all this shit. And car guys that are they know vehicles. It's the car guys are the same kids that used to be obsessed with trains and dinosaurs.
Yeah, know.
A little boy that's 4 years old that knows about dinosaurs, that he knows anything.
Pipeline.
Exactly. So it's car guys know about vehicles.
Yeah.
So we would be downtown Dallas with the roof down, and this guy would be I like your car. He's I've never seen that model before. Whole time I'm realizing now that it's because they're who is this weird ass guy that has modded his fucking...
What was it?
So he and I in his Maserati, right, we're door dashing to make our
DoorDash warrior,
to make our rent money. I am a retired DoorDash warrior, you know what? And I'm not ashamed of that. A retired couples DoorDash warrior. If you know, you know. We're in his Maserati delivering to an actual penthouse, with a very nice, if the apartments that are in Dallas, the bougie ones, you know which one I'm talking about, downtown. We pull up in their underground lobby, and the guy at the front desk is like, "Oh my god, I love your Buick." And I was like, it's. I honestly didn't even say anything. I just went and got in the elevator. But in my mind, I was like, I hate this man.
It shattered your.
It shattered. It did. And honestly, it was designed to happen that way because I knew he was lying. Because mind you, we were door dashing. So when you make a DoorDash account, you have to put the vehicle information. I can't put a Maserati in his license plate information because it's not registered as that.
Yeah.
And so when I went in after he got his information and put it in, it said Buick. So I was like, oh, okay, whole time in my brain,
no hate to Buicks, but just
don't lie, don't have a Buick and say it's a Maserati. And it's so crazy because this is why icks are important, and this is why we picked it for the intro, is because if I had not stayed for that ick, it would have saved me from so much, because his lie about the vehicle claiming to be a Mazzy when it's a Buick is just such a metaphor for his entire bit. Him pretending to
lying about everything.
He used to lie about being a business person, and he lied about being in the NBA. He lied
about being Canadian.
Yeah, he lied about being Canadian. He lied about just like being a bad guy. Like, he just lied about all these dumb, stupid, and dumb
lying
things.
Just to lie.
Honestly, like
to see what you'll believe.
Just so like we would all think he's a Mozzie. And it's like, baby, no, you're a Buick. The second ick that I stayed with, an ick that I saw and stayed would be, honestly, anytime I dated a femme, no offense. Y'all are beautiful. You're not the icks. It's how you act. That's the ick. Another ick that I stayed for is, there was this guy, sorry mom, but there's this guy that like anytime we would do like arts and crafts, let's just call it that for lack of a better word, he only ever wanted to do one craft. All he ever wanted to do, what's a good example? I don't know, let's call it like stapling. All he ever wanted to do was use the stapler. He never wanted to use scissors. He never wanted to try and like flip the paper over and cut it in a different way. Like, he never wanted to do any of that. He would only ever do...
It's giving ritual.
Okay, but honestly... In a bad way. That's disturbing, because that's actually like, we may have just... You guys are witnessing something real here, because... That same guy, me actually having chills right now, he literally used to accuse me of being a witch.
Well, yeah, because he was...
All the time.
Sex demon.
Dude, it's something about this cat. Wow. I don't know what it is. But it literally... No, it's me. It's, obviously, like, I have unhealed... I think it's generational trauma that I need to, like... free myself of, but I do have experience with many weird men in the bedroom, not in a good way, but he would only ever want to do arts and crafts in one position, but it was so fun that I just didn't care. Major ick though, because that's a very poor partner if that's all they're doing, and like, yeah. It's not like he would have been an asshole. I was young and he was older than me, so like I was just so new to arts and crafts that like I didn't even know that I had agency to speak up and be like, let's do something else. So I never asked, and he never did any actual weird shit. That was just an ick about him, but it was like, worth it.
Explore.
I know, it would have been fun. And the thing is, he used to like text me all this stuff about what he wanted to do to me and everything, but
the whole time you know it's just gonna be stapling.
Yeah.
Today's episode, as the title says, is Polyamory, represented by Jalen, versus Monogamy, represented by me.
Let's get into it.
I have always been a monogamous girly. Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
But I would like a primary partner, at least. Like, I'm very like for having your day one, your ride or die. But yeah, any of my actual relationships have been monogamous. And that's just the way I prefer to do it. And like, I don't care if it's because I'm like a little special, but I like to know what I'm getting into with parameters. I like to understand the situation. Mm-hmm. Whereas you...
Girl, don't do that, because what I got out of polyamory wasn't like what polyamory even is.
Yeah.
Nor what it should be. Okay, so don't compare.
What is your experience with polyamory then?
Well, first of all, I've been monogamous. Like, okay. I don't really even know how. I do not like to like, I don't believe in labels. So I don't like walk around the world. It's not in my Insta bio like that I'm a polyamorous queen or anything like that. So I've been in monogamous relationships. I've been in polyamorous relationships. I'm capable and open to either or. Okay. Still at this point in my life, despite my experiences. But my experience with polyamory, I was single and like have dated couples. Yeah. And then I've been in a relationship and like dated poly, so like have dated with my partner for more partners. Yeah, does that make sense? So that's my two variations.
Yeah, I must confess, I've also I was gonna say infiltrated a couple, but like that sounds terrible.
That's not the right.
Yeah. I've dabbled in polyamory before.
She's been like, from what the experience gave, it's giving like, first of all, let me use real words. From the impression that your experience gave me, it seems as if you were just more of like a unicorn for them. Yeah. I don't think they're actually polyamorous. I think it's more just their sex life has
and not so much nuance.
Like structure.
Not structure, but more than sexual interest. Like, I feel like polyamory, like, when done correctly, involves the person in your life in more than just the bedroom.
Yeah, that's the big thing about polyamory that I feel like is largely misunderstood, is everyone just thinks it's about the sex. Because when you hear it, or you think about the idea of multiple partners in a relationship, the first thing people think about is what's going on in the bedroom. First of all, better than what y'all have going on. Second of all, like, that's not even the most important part, nor is it the main reason that people choose polyamory. Yeah. But that is another reason why, like, I would say, I feel like that example that you did have, I think it, like, exposed you, obviously, to, like, the group play aspect of it that is there. But you're right, like, it didn't involve
It didn't involve me as, like, a person.
A partner, really? Like, in the relationship.
Yeah. Since it's, I would say, more popular right now for people to be monogamous, it's what's societally pressured upon people. Yeah. What got you into polyamory?
Well, I'm gay. So, when I moved to Texas after I finished college. So that last year of college, I got my heart broken, and so I was single, and I was just looking for a relationship of sorts that fit the lifestyle I was pursuing. Like, I was about to be post-grad. I knew I was going to be moving to a new city, a bigger city than where I was in school at. And so I didn't really care what my relationship looked like, or like a romantic connection looked like. I just wanted to fit my lifestyle, which was, I was just trying to be young and turnt and chase money. Like, that's what I was going for after college. So, and I'm gonna go after my dreams. So I was open, and I had been talking to different people, like regular men, regular girls, but also like on the dating apps for the first time. Like, I had seen couples, I guess, and that was the first time I'd been pursued by them. And I was open to the idea of it. To me, what was appealing was, which, I don't know, like, I will say that, like, my mindset at the time when I first got into it was probably, like, not well-informed and pretty immature.
Okay.
But I'm gonna speak honestly about what that was so people understand the reality of it. But I was like, okay, well, it sounds like a win-win because I love women. So I get everything that comes with a relationship with a woman that you don't get with a man. If you know, you know, like, physical or not. I get all of that. But then also, like, the very few attributes that I do appreciate that are exceptional to a partner and a man of a partner. I get that as well. But then also, because typically, like, a successful polyamorous couple that's out in the world being polyamorous, you have to have, like, your finances together for the most part, and you have to have some sort of healthy relationship if you're not out here actually just, like, scamming girls and lying to them. Like, if you're being genuine in it and you're not weirdos and lying just to take advantage of young girls, typically, like, your healthy poly relationship, you'll see that. And so that was appealing to me as well, because I knew that, like, as a partner, I brought good things to the table. Like, I know my assets. I knew that I would be in a different level of life than them, but that appealed to me because I
feel like you could learn things
from that as far as how to build a healthy relationship that is financially stable. That was something I wanted to learn and, like, be a part of. But also, I don't have to make a lifelong commitment to that to get the opportunity to learn from it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because they are each other's day ones in my mind.
Primaries.
Yeah, primaries. And so that's how I thought about it, was like, okay, it just seemed to have these more benefits that fit me as a person. So I was open to it regardless of whether it worked out or not, or whether I ended up with someone monogamous or not. Yeah. But I never was like, ooh, I'm going to talk to this couple because her man is fine, so let me try to take her place, or ooh, she's bad, like let me take her from her man. That was never the mindset, because it's also like just trust that if that ever is yours and you're dating poly, if the partner ever does do that, chooses you over them, you're not signed up for something good. Like that's it's just your turn until it happens to the next. Secondly, that's weird. Like, and good luck for most of them, because they have to be really in love with each other and really trust each other for them to have even given you an invitation. So you like just be realistic about all the things across the board. But that's what like intrigued me about it at first, because I don't know. I just thought it would be an opportunity for a new experience.
Yeah, I would say when I was dabbling, I just was really still like exploring my sexuality, and I don't know. It wasn't like, wow, I have to be a third for this couple.
Yeah,
it just was like, I want to know what it's like, and I'm very much a hands-on learning type of girl.
Yeah,
so.
Not that, like, I think this is a good thing to do. I guess it's just, like, true. But if you are, like, for me, I had been with a woman. Like, I had been with a woman by myself before I was in my polyamorous relationship. But I hadn't had, like, a proper girlfriend before. And so, like, as I was dating women with my male partner, I did get new experience in dating women in general, what that all entails from beginning to end, and being able to explore that, it gave me some sense of comfort being able to do that with my partner at the time. I will say, like, honestly, I think being poly is what kept me and my ex together for so long, because it literally got to a point in the relationship where I told him, I was like, I would not be monogamous with you.
Clocked.
And he was heartbroken over that, because he was like, at the beginning of a relationship you said you would be whatever as long as you were with me. Yeah, when I thought you were Maserati. But now your broke down busted ass Buick isn't even here. We're riding around in my car.
Yeah.
So, but it had just gotten to a point where I wouldn't have wanted to be monogamous with him. And so, like, being poly, it does, like, if you're in the dynamic where, like, you and your partner, let's say, are deciding you want to explore this together, it will, in a way, like, if it brought us closer, because I mean, dating single is literally depressing.
It's just like getting to know yourself and other people, like how, like, not everyone thinks like you, and nothing shows you that more than dating.
And it's just like being able, I mean, from my experience as a young woman who was single dating, I felt like I was always met with such, like, I left with such disappointment in one way or another. Like, not that all men are bad or assholes or anything like that. It wasn't that, but it would just be like, I always left feeling unfulfilled in my heart. And that, I'm just a sensitive girly, like, that was just upsetting and draining, and something that turned sad for me. And that's what brought me to the point of, like, I'm not dating for fun. I'm not doing anything casual. It's only for a relationship. So to be able to do that with my, at the time, boyfriend, and, like, get my feelings hurt because, here's yet another time I got excited and it was disappointing. Like, to be able to have someone I love and that loves me, and, like, I don't have to go home alone. Yeah. I guess, like, that, which might sound small and stupid, but that just made a big difference. And I feel like it became a bond for us, which was toxic because we really shouldn't have been together. But it was like, because we felt some sort of loyalty to one another. Connection because we were going through this difficult journey with one another. Yeah. But that did kind of blindside me, because his whole narrative is he would always blame it on the girls, which I guess red flag, like, that you should not stay for if you are dating poly. If your partner, if you guys do not, if you're struggling dating and they always pin it on the other people, then run, because that's what he did. And it was so, the whole relationship, I was very, like, under his control. So don't judge me, but every single time they would have an issue with him, it would be like he's ugly or like he's a weirdo, like he's scary. It was either he's ugly or he's scary. Those are the two biggest things, if not both at the same time, that any girl we dated the 2 years we were together always felt around him. And he would be like, oh, they're a whore, or they're this, or they're that, or like he would just make
taking advantage of us.
Yeah, like he
planting seeds for negativity.
Yeah, he would like make it personal attacks about them. And I realized now that was kind of to like bring me closer, so that because he sees that these girls are obviously seeing him for who he is, and they're like, okay, what can I tell Jalen to not have her see the truth too, if that makes sense. And so I really wanted to pick this episode because I mean, we're in the 21st century. Like, I love unconventional anything, but there are just a lot of red flags that I didn't know were red when I was dating in a non-traditional manner. And if I had knowledge or resources to like be informed going into it beforehand, it would have saved me a lot of trauma. It would have saved my family a lot of worrying and fear. And so I just wanted to talk about it now because at the end of the day, like, do I think all polyamory should be written off? No. Like, I don't. If people can make it work, they can make it work.
Yeah.
But
it's a tightrope.
It is. And it is becoming, like, I do think monogamy, like you said, is most popular, but polyamory is becoming more and more towards the forefront, especially because women, let's just say, we have more agency over our bodies. We have more agency in general to where we can be financially free. So we're in a position now to explore the dynamics that we personally desire, which I support, but just be educated in doing it because it's
otherwise
dangerous.
You get hurt.
Yeah, like, I don't, like, me and my partner, that's the ick about the Maserati and the Buick metaphor is so important in this episode because him selling me on his Maserati was, he did do all the right things, like, in the beginning. Because from the beginning, he told me that he wanted to be poly. And I was upfront with him that, like, I had dated couples and I was bisexual. And so from the beginning, we had talked about what we wanted. And it was honest in a way. Because it wasn't like we had been together for 5 years and he's like, can we have a threesome with your best friend? Like, it wasn't something like that. If that's your case, break up. Because he's been wanting your best friend.
For 3 years.
Yeah. So, I felt like it was trustworthy because he didn't try to play games with me. Like, he didn't try to, like, get me in on a monogamous thing and then, like, cheat on me. And, yeah, he didn't do that. So, I thought it was safe. And I feel like I was in control. Because, again, I was the first girlfriend. And so, I thought it would be different in comparison to before, because when I was single and I was dating couples, they had all the power in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I felt. I just was, I don't know, like, I was intrigued to explore myself, but I was also really like, wow, I'm coming into an establishment, you know?
Exactly.
It felt like they had a house together, they had things, like, it was very much, yeah, like, established. I don't know how else to say it. And you do have this sense of little me here with, like, the freaking Bugs Life.
Yeah.
With the bag.
And I just get to, like...
And I just hang out.
Yeah, and play and go on dinners and trips and whatever.
But you also, when you are that person, you don't feel like you have the voice that you need in the situation, I would say.
As the third, I used to think that I had the least amount of power until I became the first girlfriend. And I realized that it's actually quite the opposite, because I was like, oh, she's free. Like, she gets to go home. Like, she doesn't have to deal with him after this. She doesn't have to keep looking for someone else to make her relationship whole.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And not that that's all poly dynamics, that was just my experience. But it did just give me some perspective on, like, oh wow, I did have more power than I thought I did when I was on the other side of things. Because yes, they have this existing everything, the other couple. Yeah. But you're not in it yet.
Yeah.
Or at all. Like, so you still can control who you are and what you do, because let's just say, like, for an example, that wife in that existing relationship she can't just leave that man.
Yeah.
Because most times they are married. Sometimes they have kids, or they have property, they have all these things, or business and just money tied up. This is her lifestyle. That's the big thing about poly that I learned in being in it, is it's not just fucking. Like, it's not just how you have sex. It's a lifestyle. And so she can't just leave this man.
Yeah.
Like, and also for them to be having this type of lifestyle where they're polyamorous, they have to be even more intertwined with one another. Like I said, on the positive end, they do have to have certain level of trust and love for one another. But that's further entanglement. And so it's like...
I can't imagine how much more you would have to communicate in that couple being like, oh, I want to pursue this person as a third, and like getting that agreement on both parties, like, you know?
Well, it's typically, so there is a spectrum of how people navigate the dynamic. So you'll see it where it's more of an open relationship where they are married, but they date separately. So like they're allowed to have situations like outside of their general spouse, and that could just be it. Like they don't ever bring them in with one another, or maybe sometimes they do, to where it's all like group play, but that relationship can just be like core with that one that the third person is. Or you'll see it where they're married and they only date together. So they live a regular married. And this is more so what me and my ex had, where outside looking in, we look like just a typical monogamous couple, because we are. But like, just as any single person would be single, but you share a dating app. Or when you guys go out, like if there's someone that you're both interested in, you pursue them together from the beginning as like, oh, my girlfriend thinks you're really beautiful, like, or something like that. And that's how you do it. So there's not a lot of moments where you have to like think on your own for both partners. And if you are in those positions, you already know like what the agreement is and how to do that. So for example, he was a bouncer at like a really famous like piano bar in Dallas. So at this point in our relationship, like he knew both of our types. So if there was someone that he was interested in and he thought that he would tell them, this is just one of his lines. He would say, my girlfriend would think you're so beautiful. And they'd be like, your girlfriend? And then,
what? Yeah, because he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then he'd show them a picture of me and they'd be like, oh my God, she's beautiful. And then it goes from there. And that's just how we rolled, and it worked, because, like, I don't know, the girls in Texas, they liked me, like, I don't really know. I didn't know, I was real nervous, like, getting into it, because I'm like, these bitches are gonna think I'm weird, they're gonna think I'm desperate, I don't know, because, again, I was used to being the third, and he was 8 years older than me, keep that in mind, so I'm like, these girls probably think I'm weird, because the whole time, like, I was in a weird situation, and I just didn't know.
Yeah. And maybe you were his beard, low-key.
Beard?
Beard is like when
I know, but you think he's fruity?
I don't think he's fruity.
I think he might be.
Okay, well, yeah, probably, honestly.
But continue.
But I think just like the sense of like an overlay so he can get what he wants.
What is it he's trying to get what he wants?
To pimp out women.
But that's the thing, is like having two bitches in your bed together is not pimping. That's what I'm trying to understand, is like what was he really trying to like gain from it, other than the ego boost I get, but that can only take you so far. Like there's no audience to that can't like be your reason for living. So like as a monogamous person, let's just say, would you ever have a threesome?
Yeah.
With someone you know?
Well, actually,
like, you and your partner will have to see them again.
Anytime that I considered polyamory, I was always the single person, and I don't know if I would want to
be the third.
No, I'm okay with being the third. I don't know if I would want to be in the primary.
Oh, and bring it in person.
Yeah. I think for me personally, that would place a lot of like doubt and uncertainty in my mind that I would rather not deal with. Yeah. Whereas like we were saying earlier, like when you are the third, you have the power to literally just fucking leave.
True. I think it's just a misunderstanding because how you feel about that one person, and like it's not for everyone. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to sway you. Yeah. I'm just speaking in general, but the way you feel about that one person in a monogamous relationship is exactly how it should feel in polyamory. Yeah. If you're in, like, we were in a close triad, to give you the actual word, I guess. Okay. And so it's like only the three of you, only dating each other. There's no separate dating. Like, yeah, we were doing that to get the next partner, mm-hmm. but like once it's the number of partners you want, it's only each other. Yeah. And there's not like a relationship decision that's made outside of that group. Okay. So the same way that in a monogamous relationship, if you're with a man, he's not gonna just be like, yep, so I sold the house and we're moving to California. That's not just gonna happen. In your relationship, that's not how yours would roll. Yeah. Similarly, in a triad, mm-hmm. except you have a wife and a husband mm-hmm. that are also wife and husband. Mm-hmm. But you all, like, I don't know. It's such a sensational feeling that it's hard to articulate it conceptually with words, what mm-hmm. I'm trying to express. But it's the presence of that third person in your dynamic. In reality, it shouldn't, and it doesn't take away from the love and the trust and the security you feel with that other partner. It adds to it. Mm-hmm. I feel more secure with this partner because we have this other. Yeah. That's in reality how it ends up playing.
You have a shared interest, so you're bound to be closer.
And I don't know if it's just like, and it honestly could be, I'll have to unpack this not for free with a real therapist, but it could just be the reason that it works well for me is because of how I grew up. Mm-hmm. Because what I appreciated in my poly dynamic is I felt like I had more people on my team. I knew that, like, if I failed to express my feelings effectively to my husband, let's say, yeah. I have a wife who listens to me and knows how I feel, and even in ways that I can't always express, and she will be able to relay those things lovingly to him, which he will receive lovingly because she's also his wife, and, like, therefore be able to advocate for me, and he'll be able to understand me. Like, being able to know that I can have that to lean on in mm-hmm. keeping a healthy relationship seemed desirable to me, if that makes sense. It was those things that I think of first and foremost before I think of, like, being left out. Because I think because of my issues, I always will think about, like, what if 20 years of my marriage, like, I get sick of them? Because this is something I'm still working with myself, is like, I have many lifelong friendships, like many of my closest friends are all old friends, but I've had other profound friendships in my life that just fall off because I get, like, bored, or like I don't mm-hmm. feel like it fits me anymore, and I just, like, outgrow it. So I would always have this fear of, like, I'm gonna be in the middle of this lifelong partnership and be like, this life doesn't fit me anymore. Yeah. I'm too entangled to be able to just, like, be Jalen and reinvent myself again. I can't just do that. And so, I don't know, the thought of being polyamorous made me feel like it eliminated that fear for me of getting bored, because it's like, this is my tribe. Like, the dynamics will always ebb and flow. Like, sometimes mm-hmm. I will be allowed to be more isolated. Yeah. Because it's not like I'm abandoning my partner. Yeah. But again, I don't know, maybe that's all just rooted in selfishness.
It's okay. Like, I just know for me, like, I've just always pictured myself as a monogamous person. I just have always pictured myself having that partner and being able to share my whole self with them. But it's not like, I'm a private girly. You wouldn't believe it because we're doing this, but it's very outside my comfort zone.
Believe the things you don't know about us. Yeah. Imagine.
But I like having one person that really understands me more than multiple people.
It is different.
And it shows, like, a testament of commitment. It's like, it's very big on my head, and, like, loyalty and that. Yeah. But I also, like, when I get into a relationship and there has been a discussion that we are, like, exclusive with each other, I'm ride or die exclusive. Like, I don't let people text me, I don't let people, like, and maybe that's fucking psycho, I don't know, but I just, once that conversation has been had, I know how hard it is for someone to have that conversation with someone. So being the receiver, you know, I am very big on doing my part once the conversation is had.
True. Which I think is very good that you were like that. And I think that's true partnership and what it means to be a partner and show up for someone, like how you do view loyalty and commitment. And to be honest with you, like, I would agree, like, how you feel about that one partner and things like that. And my exploration into polyamory felt like, okay, maybe this concept that I have can be expanded upon. You know, maybe it can grow. And from my research, from my social research as your local sociologist, I don't think it should be canceled. I think it should be monitored. I just think because of my experiences with my previous partner that you'll never see that from me again. Personally, I will at least, like, I won't ever have a partner and we're dating together again. Because of just the experiences I've had, I'm not doing that to myself again. Like, for the past version of me that was in that relationship, I'm not going to put her through that again. Even if it is with someone new and healthy and all the things, even if it could be done perfectly right, I would never do that to my past version of me because I don't think she deserves to have to do that again. I don't think she deserves to have to share. Yeah. If that makes sense. Which I'm very much in a sharing is caring. Like, I'm single now, so if the opportunity presents itself with a couple on some fun shit, like, you might see me dabble. But, like, I would like to marry one person. And
just, like, I don't know, it, to me, is, like, comforting to know that that person, hopefully, God bless, is at the same mental space as me. And
I just think it's different because I've connected, like, with, even despite the stories that you haven't heard about my ex and my polyamorous relationship, we had good moments, like, with some of the girls we dated. And that feeling, I loved how that felt. And that was new and different. There is something special to group relationships, like, or plural relationships is what they're called. But there's just as exceptional of a feeling of partnership with just two. And that, I think, is just more in alignment with me through my experience. And this is why you explore. And now I will know for certainty when I am choosing my life partner. Because I dated my most previous ex, my ex-girlfriend. We met dating poly. Like, when I was with my last man, Boo, we dated her. And, like, he and I broke up. And me and her gave our relationship a shot. And the way that we were able to be with each other in our monogamous relationship versus the poly was entirely different. And what I got out of our monogamous relationship versus the poly was far more rewarding and fulfilling than what I was getting out of my poly experience. So that's what converted me. And maybe that's the only reason that God let her come back into my life. It's just to set me straight, like, on what's right for me.
Because, I don't know. But I've also, like, I personally struggle with, once that conversation has been had that you're being exclusive. I know I do my part and stuff, but like you said, like, if you get bored and stuff, you feel terrible telling that to your partner. You feel terrible being like, hey, you're not the one for me, in the most respectful way, but, like, you're not.
I think, though, the only things we can do to avoid, I guess, or try to prevent that from happening is to honor our desires while you're single. cough, cough at men specifically. Like, if you think you might be a little bit zesty, like, keep it a secret, that's fine, but like, maybe try watching gay porn. I don't know, like, try just like dipping your toe into it in the privacy of your own mind and space, so that at least you know before you fuck around and get someone pregnant and have a family and a 401k in the suburbs and you are miserable and you cheat on your wife with gay little twinks on TikTok. Like, figure it out. That's what I'm saying, is like, use that agency. Because, and that's like, I remember talking to my sister, like, when I was dating my ex-girlfriend, because it was a long distance relationship and we were getting ready to go on a trip to go see her. And I was telling my sister, I was like, honestly, I'm really excited about her and this relationship. And regardless of how it plays out, I'm not going to feel any type of way about it, because one day it'll just be another story I'll be able to tell my kids. Like, or tell
learning experience.
Yeah, to tell my family is like, yeah, mommy had a girlfriend, and that's like why she went to New Orleans for the first time and got to see with Aunt Kelsey and see all these things. Like, it'll just be a part of my story.
The lore.
And so even though exploring your sexuality or trying new things when you're just living life might seem scary or taboo, it's far less scary and taboo to do it when you're not tied to other things than to do it years down the road when your life is built and already established
all
on
these
a lie.
extra circumstances that
count on you,
rely on you, and also like are just a big factor in being blockades. They are things that inhibit you from doing whatever you want to do.
That's if, and only if, you have built that foundation upon a self-concept that is not authentic to your true desires and self-perception. If you are living your life and where you work and where you live and how you dress and who you hang out with never really feels real, true to you, it doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel like it fits, it doesn't feel like home, even though it's familiar, it can even still be comfortable. If it doesn't feel like it belongs to you and it's of your own, then you're not fitting. And like, you can keep living your life every day with that, but one day you'll wake up and you won't be able to make yourself fit anymore, and you'll start coping with that in different ways,
unhealthy ways
that will just one day cause that to all collapse. So from your young 20-somethings or mid 20-somethings who do what they want and explore who they are, there's reason, like, there's methods to our madness, is all I'm trying to say.
And also, I'm just gonna say, no hate to high school sweethearts, y'all. You are.
She's only speaking for herself.
Yeah.
Because all I hate on y'all. No offense.
Okay. But I just, I can't imagine.
I mean, but hear me out. If you are a high school sweetheart, no hate to you. If you and your partner are the same people you were when you met, for the most part, and you're still together, then fine. Then I can see it working, because you haven't skewed much from the original blueprint, you know? Yeah. But also, I mean, people change and flow, and sometimes if they're created for each other, maybe like how they evolve does stay compatible. Yeah. You know, so maybe let me not hate on them.
I think it's really hard, and to me it is so scary. All y'all ladies out there who already have children, power to you. Mm-hmm. But I just can't imagine right now, or even like fathom having to sign a contract basically for part of your life. And it's not just part of your life, it's a vast majority, because like once you have a child, you and that person are linked until that child dies.
I think,
and even then some.
It's just different for them versus you, because what you want out of your life versus what you've accomplished thus far, there's still so much more. Yeah. Like, what you've accomplished thus far in the life you've lived isn't even half of everything that you will accomplish and what you are desiring and going after. Some people who want simpler things out of life, where they're at so far is the majority of the legwork. Like, they already went to college. They're already at the job that they wanted and that they're gonna have. And so
to me,
they feel
giving up, but
because it would be for you.
Yeah.
But they don't want they don't have the same fate as you. They don't have the same destiny. Nor should they. So if they've already done that legwork, they're like, this is one of the only few things left there is for them to want to do in their story. You know what I mean? So to us, we're like, oh, that's daunting. Like, how could you be ready? How could you even be good enough to do something like that? Yeah. Because, like, we're different characters. Yeah. We're total different genres of stories, honestly. And so I think that's why. Not to take away from what you are saying, but just to kind of
make it less scary.
Yeah, because when you are at that point where you're ready, you'll feel ready for your time. Yeah. But everyone's on a different clock. If that makes sense. Yeah. So it's not scary.
But I find it hard to believe that you guys are that in love with each other, that you haven't ever at least had wandering eyes. Like, I cannot. The same person since you were 15?
But think of the people that you know that are in their high school relationships still. It checks out for me. Like,
but yeah, okay,
there's not much room for growth.
They really are.
Like, she's someone her parents were high school sweethearts. Yeah. So, like, it's only natural that she would. But her and her man, like,
yeah.
She's just your regular schmegular suburbs girl. And her man, he seems like a regular schmegular guy too, which there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So, but those are the two types that are, I would think, made for each other in the Sims world. So I see it. Does that make sense? It's like the people who are like that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the guy you had a crush on in World Studies?
There was a few. No, because we need to talk about that relationship off camera.
Because she, like, groomed him.
Yes!
Yes. But he's with someone that's, like, from the community that was around him. Keyword. But was around him during the same age. And, like, for him, he's such a nice guy. Like, that's the life I want for him. Just stay pure, stay nice, you know, become a history teacher or a youth pastor or something. Yeah. Like, so... For some people, there needs to be people like that. My ex used to say this stuff all the time, and it used to piss me off because he was just being an asshole about it. But, like, there needs to be people like them for people like us to exist. Yeah. Like, he would try to tell me, the girls we were dating, like, when they would not want to talk to us anymore, he'd be like, they're ugly, they're this, they're that. And I'm like, no, they're not. And he's like, are you ugly? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, for you to be pretty, someone has to be ugly.
Oh. But also, like, in the more wholesome way, like, I have to imagine there are people, God bless teachers, I can't do that. But there has to be someone to, like, teach things to kids and...
Exactly.
Because, like, that's not... there has to be doctors, because I'm not fucking doing that. I don't like needles, I don't like blood, bitch, but I want people to get health care. Yeah. But that's not me. I know I'm not doing it, but those people do exist, and they have to exist so that I can do this.
Exactly.
My true passion.
Do you think, like, for the people of the world, or let's just say for the bitches of the pod, do you think they should be poly or monogamous?
I think that they should explore themselves, for sure, because wherever you want to land, if it's more poly or more monogamous... Like you were saying earlier, it's best to explore those things sooner than later, because people really, really, and maybe it's because things are, like, progressing more faster. Yeah. But there's so many people who I would consider, like, the parents of our generation who forced that stuff down, and now it's, like, boiling at the top, and they're like, I did all of this, I loved you, I did this, but really I wanted to fuck a twink. Like, sir, you have wasted your life then.
Yeah, and that's not anyone else's fault but your own. I would agree with you as far as any advice. I don't think there's one right or wrong way. Well, there is wrong ways, but I don't think there's a right way for someone to pursue love. Like, just follow your heart. Follow your heart and be true to yourself. single or in a relationship, I agree with you. I think exploring yourself is a necessity if you ever want to find true joy out of life. You need to know who you are, because that is the person that has to receive life with joy. So if you think you're a little fruity, like, play with that. Like, just explore it while you can. And if the idea of talking to a couple, like, you're open to it and all your friends are like, ew, that's weird, whatever, don't listen to them, because those bitches are boring, and I promise you they're even more bored in the bedroom. So, like,
and also they're probably not making themselves happy.
That's very real.
I'm sorry.
That's why, like, don't take anyone else's advice except ours. I think at the very least, what we're gonna try to do is make ourselves happy. Like, we may make mistakes, like, whatever.
We make mistakes, but mistakes are made to put us on the right path and show us, hey girl, that's not for you.
Exactly. So just try what's interesting to you. But also, if you are going to explore poly, like, do your research, look up as much as you can. If you have more questions, like, ask us.
Please, for the love of God, be somewhat stable in yourself
before you, because they will prey upon that. Not like all, but there are some people who they will use it at polyamory as like a facade or a mask to really, like, sex traffic people, to, like, trick you, take advantage of you, steal money from you, steal pictures from you. I have heard many stories from other people throughout my experience and have been a part of my own. So do your research. Feel free to ask us any questions. We'll do another video over it, whatever. But just stay informed, stay safe, but have fun and stay super freaky.
Great vagina. Oh, she's canceled. No MAGA in this house.
Yeah. And have fun. Merry Christmas.
We filmed this on Christmas, but
the day after
Christmas. But cheers, bitches. We'll see you next week.